Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting video. I'm very excited about this. We're going to be doing a swatch party that I know you guys have been asking for a little while, and this is going to be on our Clionadh Cosmetics single shadows that I got over Black Friday. And this is my beautiful palette here, which I did show in my Black Friday haul. These are the colours that I have. I've got space for two more, which I will fill up as well. And these are all multi-chromes, iridescents, duochromes, all that business, a little bit of everything, lots of greens, because green's my favourite colour, but some very interesting shades. So we're going to be getting into it in this video. So the way this video is going to work, I'm going to do some swatches of every single shade individually in bright lighting and lower lighting, swatches, up closes, all that kind of stuff, so you can see them all. I'll go through every single shade and describe them to you and what way they kind of shift as well, just so you can see what they really look like. And I think I just really want to show off exactly how these shift as well. And then once we've all the swatches out of the way, we will be creating this look together using these shadows, which is going to be very exciting. Just before we get into all the swatches and all of the tutorial action as well, my Instagram is linked down below. I'll post all the up close eye pictures and full face pictures of all of my looks, and my TikTok is down there for a little bit of extra content if you want to go follow both of those. So this could be a little bit of a longer video because we're going through, how many is it, 12, 13, 14 eyeshadows individually. So let me just jump right in. So first up, we've got the shade Candela, and this is like a white iridescent sort of shade. It kind of reflects like green, kind of a gold as well, very soft but very bright when it hits the light as well. When a lot of these are out of the light, the kind of base color can kind of go away, but you get that really high shift once it hits the light as well. Such a beautiful shade. As I said, it's kind of like a white that goes into like a green gold shift. It's like a duochrome iridescent, and it's so beautiful. I had to have this shade. I was so happy to get this one. Next up, we've got the shade Duchess, which I think is a beautiful name for this color. This one is a little bit chunkier. The other one was more like smooth metallic. This is a little bit chunkier. There's a bit more texture in this one here. This one kind of goes from a green, limey, pale green base color into this beautiful pink shift when it hits the light as well. There's also a little bit of gold there too when it hits some parts of the light, but the green to pink shift is stunning. Usually you get like a pink to a green, like a pink base with a green shift. This is a green base to a pink shift, and I think it's beautiful. I think the name matches this one so perfectly. Next up, we've got Mural, which is kind of similar in a way but different, if that makes sense. So with this one, you've got more of like a teal mint green base color to it, and that really comes out when it hits the light. You really see that kind of bluey green sort of undertone in it as well. And then this one reflects more like a gold to an orange. It has this like really bright orange flash when it hits the light as well. The gold really stands out too, but it's like when you look at them beside you, they look very similar, but they're not. This gold orange shift against the mint really stands out, and I just think this is another stunning one. I think these are all beautiful. I'm a little bit biased, but I think they're beautiful. Next up, we've got Nayello, I think it is. This one here, she's gorgeous. She's really different looking as well. I love this kind of shade. This is like a blue purple base, so like a blue to purple duochrome base color, and the multi-chrome element to it is this green gold that really flashes through as well, especially in dark lighting. You really see that like purple tone in the base as well. It's almost like a periwinkle base, if that makes sense. And then you've got this flash of green gold through it once the light hits it. It's so beautiful. I cannot wait to use this all over my eyes. It's so stunning, and you will see these, and I have seen a couple of these be used already in my monthly build your own palettes. I've already used at least 3 as of the ones that I've filmed so far. One of them I think is coming up after this video, but I've already added them in because I want to add these into these palettes, the build your own palettes, to get these really interesting sort of shifts out of them as well, and I paid money for them, so I'm going to use them. Next up, we've got the shade Heirloom, which is the most beautiful, rich, aqua turquoise sort of shade. This is more like a duochrome, and this one has this beautiful lime green flash to it as well. The base color of this though is so stunning. It's that, just that aqua, like tropical water kind of color to it, and it's more of a solid base color as well. With this one, you get more like coverage with it. With a lot of these, you do get coverage with them, but with some of the lighter shades, you will. Some of them are more toppers. This one is that kind of shade you'll pop all over, and it just hits the light in different ways, and it's just stunning. Next up, we've got Oculus, and this is one of the ones I was probably the most excited to get. This one, and there's maybe 2 other ones that I'll go through in a second. But this one, I was so excited to get this one once I seen it and swatched it, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy I have this one here. This one is definitely a multi-chrome. It shifts into at least 3 different colours that I can see anyway. So you've got this beautiful, like, blue, rich, royal base to it, more just like classic blue though, and this shifts into like a strong emerald green into a purple, and then sometimes into a royal blue as well. So beautiful. I've definitely used this in my, which one was it, the March build your own palette, but this one here is so stunning, so rich, your classic kind of multi-chrome look to it as well when it's on. The best way to wear these kind of multi-chrome shades is to just pop it on its own all over the eye, like just pop something matte in the crease or whatever way you want to do your eyes, but try to get as much coverage over a bigger area, so when you turn in the light you can really see it. There's no point in putting just like a tiny little bit somewhere and hoping that you see it. You don't, and there's no point in putting it beside lots of different colours, although that's what I kind of did today, but that's because I wanted to show off multiple shades. But normally what I would do is say like a colour like this and just pop it all over the lid and have my crease colours be matte, and then my lower lash, and then this looks like you've put on about 4 different shades, even though you haven't. Next up we've got Iron Gate, which is so stunning. This is like an olivey khaki kind of dirty green, and this one kind of has like a, I don't want to say a bronze base, it's not really bronze, it's like a rich kind of base to it. It has a little bit of warmth in the base shade to it, and then it has this green shimmer, but then another layer, it's almost like there's layers of these colours. Another layer on top is this bright lime green flash, and then this kind of like silver in it as well, and she just hits the light so perfectly. It's gorgeous, like dirty metallic green, gold, silver, blue, everything kind of in there. Such a beautiful shade. Again, this is the kind of shade I would do like really dark crease and then just pop this on the lid, and it just looks so impressive when it's on. They're so beautiful. Next up we have Bloodline, which I actually have on me right now. Ooh, you'll have to wait and see where I have it on the eye. This one has, it's kind of what I would describe as like a candied apple. I don't know why, it just gives me that idea. It's got this beautiful like warm peachy pinky orange base color, and then it has this beautiful gold to, what way would you describe it, gold to a teal to a purple kind of shift to it. When it hits the light, the gold really stands out the most though. It's just in certain lightings you get that little green teal flash to it as well, but how like it, you just see these layers when it's on, when you turn in the light and you hit the light and then you don't hit the light, they just change. They're so beautiful. Next up then we've got Statue Garden. This one, so with multi-chromes and duochromes and things like that, your baseline will be one kind of colour, and then you'll have your shifts on top in your different shades. Your baselines can be black, which gives you that real like deep smoky sort of shade. It's like a blackened purple, let's say. But then you've got like clear, then you've got like a white base, which is what the Candela shade would be. Then you've got Statue Garden, which is like a grey base, so it's got this beautiful grey undertone to it, and then it has this like lavender violet shift, and then this bright pink, hot pink sheen through it, and the pink is what really stands out. But the grey base is so interesting. I love ones with grey base in it because it's not quite super dark, but it is a little bit more muted. It is that little bit more grungy. It just gives a little bit more interest to it, something different compared to other kind of multi-chromes, duochromes, all that kind of jazz. Next we've got the shade Oxidize, and this, the only way I can describe this shade is like a glitter and metallic shadow had a baby. That's the only way I can describe this. It's so sparkly, it's almost holographic when it's on the eyes. I use this in my January Build Your Own palette, and when I use this, it was literally almost like using a holographic shimmer. It's so beautiful. It's a bit chunkier, it is chunkier, but still smooth when it's on. It's still lovely and smooth, and you get this gorgeous texture, this gorgeous twinkly, sparkly sort of shade here. And this one has got, again, kind of a grey base. It's kind of like a grey gunmetal kind of shade. And then it hits the light and you've got this pink into a teal, and then just like the sparkles in it. It's just so beautiful. One thing I will say about these is they're very fragile. They almost kind of have like, they're raised up out of the pan. Some of them I have had to kind of smush down because I'm afraid they're going to fall out, they're going to crumble on me, especially something like that where it is that bit chunkier. It's a bit of a more delicate shade. It's not something I travel with, so just be a little bit careful. Next up we've got the shade Royalty, and this one here is like a beautiful lilac base shade, which really stands out. This is kind of like the heirloom shade. Is that what it was called? Heirloom, that like aqua shade, where the base shade is like really, really full on. And then you've got this like teal to a blue sort of shift to it as well. And even in some lights, a little bit of like a champagne sort of going through it as well. Such a beautiful shade. It's very like fairy-esque. I know I'm going to use this already in one of my build your own palettes. I know exactly which one this one is going into because I already have the idea in my head. But this one, yeah, it's 100% beautiful and just a little bit magical. Like, it just looks a little bit magical. The same way with the Duchess shade was a little bit magical. This is kind of the same idea. So this shade is Palace, and this one I also have on my eyes as well. And this was really interesting. It kind of looks a bit like nothing in the pan, but once it's actually on your skin and you hit the light, and it's just that it's got this like peach pink base to it, kind of like the Bloodline shade, but softer. It's more muted, it's more pastel peachy pink. And then it hits the light, and then you get this lime, and then you get, and it's a little bit chunkier. It's almost like the oxidized texture as well. You get this gold, you get this red, you get all these different shades flashing through at you. Now, bear in mind, might not be how these are described on the website, and may not even be the colours in it, but this is what I see when I look at these shades and swatch them and wear them. It's what I have on me right now. I see a red flash in it, and it's so beautiful. Great inner corner that's a little bit weird because it has that base colour to it. Such a beautiful shade. I cannot wait to use this a little bit more. Have I used this one? Yes, I'm pretty sure I've used this one in one of my build your own palettes as well. Okay, second last shade. This one is called Smolder. I've also got this one and the last one on my eyes right now as well. So this one has got this beautiful pink berry sort of base shade to it, the base color, the base shift that you see to it. Then you turn it away and it goes gold, and then you turn it a different way and it goes kind of brown almost in certain lights. It's got like this pink with a copper undertone to it. It's so stunning. It's very like antique looking when it's kind of like in the light or out of the light. It depends on which way the light is hitting it. And then you've got this like gorgeous flasher, and then in some lights as well it also goes a bright lime green. Classic multi-chrome sort of colour. Such a beautiful shade. Okay, and then the last shade is Kiln, and I've also got this one on, as I said. So this one here is more like your red, your fire, very fiery sort of shade. True copper sort of shade, but again, more orange when it hits one side of the light, a little bit more pink when it hits other sides of the light as well, but super fiery and super rich and just like stunning. I'm trying to like turn it in different lightings to see what other shades I can see in it as well. There's not much green. There's maybe a little bit of green, but there's not much green. Like when it's on as well, there's not a huge amount of green. It's more that like golden copper sort of shade. Such a beautiful shade though. Like, she's just beautiful. It's just so rich and so stunning, and I knew I had to have a shade like that. I think I'm probably going to get more bluey sort of shades. If I do get 2 more shades, I'll probably be more blue sort of shades. So I think if you're recommending any to me, let me know down in the comments if there's any blue shades that I should get, like a light and a medium or a light and a dark, whichever kind of way. Let me know down below if you think I should fill the rest of my thing with some more blue shades. Alright, so that's it. That is the swatches of all of our Clionadh Cosmetics single shadows that will be featured in many videos, and I'm very excited to play with them a little bit more. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I finally have them. So glad I bit the bullet and actually bought them as well. I cannot wait to use these more, and I can't wait for you guys to see them a little bit more. So to see some of these in action right now, let's get into our tutorial. Okay, we are finally getting into our little swatch party. Well, this is the look. I've already done the swatches. You've seen them at the beginning of my gorgeous Clionadh Cosmetics shadows, and I am going to use 4 shades out of this. So we're going to use this one as my inner corner. I'm going to use these 2 here and this one here. I'm going to kind of do it the way I do my Terra Moons shadows as well. Do a giant wing, because I feel like that's the best way to showcase the colours and the shifts and everything like that in it, with the black base underneath. And I'm going to do like more smoky, like black smoked out lower lash, maybe with one of them popped on the lower lash as well. Maybe I might use 5, who knows? Who knows? My skin is on, my brows are on, my eyeshadow primer is on, which will all be listed down below. I've also got my cream bronzer and my blush on, which I'll go through towards the end as well. But we are going to start with not one of the Clionadh Cosmetics. I just want a little bit of definition in my crease. So for that shade, just to create a little bit of shadow in the crease, I'm going to use this colour here from Colourpop Cosmetics. This is Made to Last. This one here, it's kind of like a dusty rose kind of shade, because I'm using a more pinky red kind of shade. So I'm going to use a bit of that through the crease. And I'm going to take that shade on. This is a brush from Glamlight. It's part of the Friday the 13th collection. And it's like the fluffy brush that's in there. There's no like number or name or anything like that. And it's just Friday the 13th. But it's beautiful. It's got blue splatter on it. So we don't have to be too fussy with this colour. This is just going to go through the crease. It's just there to define the eye. So it doesn't just look like I stuck black on my eye and that was all. I have a little bit of definition and there's a crease there. Super simple. That's all really for like the blendy part of the eyeshadows. Now I'm going to take my P. Louise Cosmetics. This is the Bada Black base. It's like one of her eye bases but in all black. And I'm going to use this as my base for the shimmers. And I'm taking that on a Cash Beauty K09 brush. So just a super skinny flat brush like this. And I'm just going to start on the lid. Sometimes I kind of map it out first. Sometimes I start on the lid. It just depends. I'm just going to start and get at a thin layer. You don't want too much of this because it might crease. I've only got the product on one side of the brush. I'm going to flip it to the clean side facing down and the dirty side facing upwards. And we're going to wing out. Just using the very tip of the brush. So just like that. Always kind of check, like looking dead straight in the mirror, how the shape is looking, if you can still see it through the eye being open and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just switching to a angle brush. This is a 263 from MAC, just a little angle brush, just to connect this line out here now with the part that's on the lid. I don't know how to describe that. Then go back with my bigger brush and I'm going to just fill in that little gap there. So we have a shape going like that. Now the difficult part, although this was difficult as well, to match the other eye. It's even enough. We can perfect edges with the shadows as well. That's always a good trick, is like using your shadow to kind of smooth over edges if you need to. So I'm going to start down here with this gorgeous like fiery coppery red gold shift, all the colours there. It's the shade Kiln and we're going to use that on a Real Techniques detailer brush, so like small, like a lip brush, that kind of thing. I want a small one. This is going to be my outside third section and I'm using a small brush to get into that little point that we have going on there. So again, I'm only loading up one side of the brush, the other side is clean side facing down, and we're going to start along this line. And then once I've got my line established, I'm just going to pack some more of that in that outer wing shape. So in the mirror that I have down here, it's more red. Here it's more like fiery orange. There is fallout from these, just a heads up, because they are very soft. Even in the pan, they're very softly packed. Look at that shade. Oh my god, it's like fire. I love it so much. Okay, so for the center part of the lid, we're going to go for the more pinky sort of multi-chrome here. This is Smolder, and this is on an e.l.f. concealer brush, just another flat brush. And this is going to go, let me just smooth that out again because it's starting to crease before I have shadows on. We are going to pop that on this center part of the lid. Now, some of the shifts in them will blend into each other. So, because this is a copper shift, this one kind of has a copper shift as well. But when it hits different lightings, you'll see that it's pink and red. But the good thing about these two kind of shades is that they blend so easy together. In this shade now, there's a little bit more of a green flash as well. I love these colours so much. I love multichromes. I love doing this sort of look with a multichrome as well. Okay, so for our last little section on the lid, we're going to take Bloodline, which is this one here, which kind of has this like dusty rose pink base color, and then it reflects like green, gold, blue, all these different colors. And by the way, I have no glitter primer on right now. None. I didn't need it with the black base. So I'm taking that on just a brush, a flat brush that I have from eBay, and we're just going to pop that on our last little section in here. So with this one, it's a lot cooler toned, so it kind of gives a bit more of a pop, a bit more contrast in there. But again, the greeniness that's in this will blend into that pinker shade that's on the center, and then you've got it fading into the copper. Okay, I want to work on my lower lash line for a little bit, and we're going to take a black liner. This is the Inglot Soft Precision Eyeliner in 20. It's just black. And I picked this because it's nice and soft and smudgy, so we're going to run that in the waterline. The last time I did this, I just kind of did a little bit of like whatever colour I put in my crease, I put that along my lower lash line. But for this, I want this shade maybe blend it out with that colour, and then I might put a bit of shimmer on top. Maybe not the whole way across, maybe on the inner part, just to use another one of the shades, because there is another shade in here that I think will go really nice. Okay, so now we're going to pick up Made to Last again, the one that we used right at the very beginning from Colourpop, and this is on a Beauty Baby B205, which is like a fluffy flat brush. I'm just going to use this to smoke along that lower lash line, just to soften out the edge of that black. Set the black as well so it doesn't go anywhere, just so we have a nice little grungy smoke along the lower lash line. Now we're going to take our final shade from this look. It's not the final shade I'm ever going to use, plus I have already been using these in my Build Your Own palette. So I've used Oxidize, which is this gorgeous, almost holographic one. And I have used, where's the other one that I used? Oh yeah, this one here. I cannot remember off the top of my head the name of it, but this beautiful like emerald shade, I used that in my March one, and I think I used this as well already, but I'm going to use that one again. So this one is called Palace, and it's the most beautiful, pretty, sparkly fairy shade ever. And I take that on another brush that I got from eBay, just like a slightly smaller version of that, and this is going to be the inner corner. I don't know if I want to add a shimmer to my lower lash right now. I don't know, I might just do everything, see if it's going to be anything. It's probably going to be either the pink or the copper. I don't really know. I kind of like the idea of it being there, but then I don't know which one I want to do yet. So I'm going to finish off the eyes. If I do apply it, it'll just be like in here or something like that, and you'll see it towards the end. If I don't, then you won't see it. But I'm going to jump off. I'm going to finish off the eyes, finish off my skin, and pop on a lip, probably a dark lip because, you know, it's grungy. And I will come back to you and let you know what I used on my face. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I love this. I did add a little bit of the copper shimmer, so the Kiln shade. I popped that just on the inner part of my lower lash line, just a little bit, a third of the way through the lower lash, and I love the little pop. I think it's so pretty. So let me go through everything that I used on my face. So to finish off the eyes, super simple, I went in with my Soap and Glory Thick and Fast mascara on my top, on my bottom lashes, and then my lashes are the House of Lashes Midnight Looks because they give that nice wingy shape, kind of choppy, kind of love them, they're beautiful. On to cheeks then, I finally got two things that I have been waiting for ages, and if you've seen my wish list or my Black Friday haul or anything like that, you know that I've been waiting on these for a while. So I finally got the Juvia's Place cream bronzer. This is in the shade Buttercream because they didn't have my shade in stock for ages, and I finally have it now. So this is her there, popped her on. She's pigmented, more pigmented than I thought she was going to be compared to what this looks like, but yeah, I'm so happy. I love how thin this is as well. Like there's a good bit of product in it, like it's not a small amount of product. But I love how thin it is. I think it's going to be so nice for traveling because it's just like so small and sleek. And then the other thing from Juvia's Place that I got is the Blushed Duo Volume 2. And this is also what I have on right now. I've got this bottom pink shade here. It's pigmented. They are very pigmented because the brand is aimed at any skin type, including very dark skin. So all their products are very, very pigmented. All their face products are very pigmented. So go in with a lighter hand, which I normally do anyway. I also got one of the liquid blush as well. I can't remember what the name of it is, but that's also very, very, very pigmented. But yeah, I am in love with those products right now. Then for cheeks, I wanted something simple but still to tie in with that pinky sort of tone. So I've got my Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighter in Blossom Glow, just to give some pink iridescence on the cheeks. And then for lips, nice and simple again, I went in with my Sephora Lip Stain, which is just a liquid lipstick in Blackberry Sorbet. Just this kind of berry shade. I thought that would tie in nice with the pinky coppery sort of tones we have going on. I think it's lovely. So that is it. That is finally it. I know you guys have been asking for this video for ages. That is our little swatch party using the Clionadh Cosmetics single shadows, multi-chromes and duochromes and all the iridescence, and they're beautiful. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed all the swatches at the beginning as well. I think this palette, well, I did create it, is beautiful, and I do have space for two more, and I have them like this for a reason because this is the way I swatch them, and it's just so that I remember what came next. But I will fix them once this video is done. But yeah, I've got space for two more, and I'm probably going to get two more. So I want to know in the comments below, what do you think of this look? Do you have any Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows? And if you do, which ones should I get as my next two to fill my palette? What are the two shades you think I should get that I'm missing, that you think I will love as well? So let me know that down below. If you did like this video, give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easiest way to give me a little bit of support, get me around more people, and also let me know that you like the video, and I will continue to do many more. And don't forget to subscribe down below to see many more videos coming up. We've got more monthly build your own palettes. We have got more first impressions, 2 looks on palettes, all that business, more chatty videos about eyeshadows and palettes and makeup and all the stuff. And as I said in the beginning, my Instagram is linked down below. I post all the up close eye pictures of all my looks and my full face pictures of all of my looks too. And my TikTok is down there for some extra content. So I think that's everything for me, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.